Hi there, I'm James Sawyer, Channel Solutions Consultant at LastPass, and today we're going to take a look at policies. Now, here at LastPass, we have over 111 security and functionality policies available to you. The way they're set up is really quick and easy, and you can automate the enforcement of these policies based off of groups as well. You can customize the levels of security you want in a very easy to digest fashion. So let's get started. So here we see on our policy screen under general policies, all of the policies that are currently in effect. You can reset this category so that you can see different types of policies. You can see the default recommended access controls. If you want a brief overview of what the policies do, you can click on new policy and expand each section accordingly. So as an example, in our recommended policies, you could scroll down to permitting superadmins to access shared folders. This means any of your superadmins will automatically be a member of all of the shared folders and have admin rights on them. You can also allow superadmins to reset those passwords as well. If we close this and go back in and take a look at something like account restrictions, you can prohibit the ability to export their passwords. You can prohibit it sharing, or at least block to sharing outside of your organization, giving you, again, a more granular level of control over that level of permissions. If we look into the administration side of things, you'll notice that you can block welcome emails from being sent out, or don't send an email when someone's sharing folders. So again, very granular levels of controls you can do in here. What I also want to highlight from this section is outside of the general policies, you have some specific policies like this one, password list, that requires the MFA add-on, which allows you to set up geofences if you want to. So green zones allowing people to connect within these physical locations, or red zones, places where you don't want to. And as you can see, you can block entire countries if you want to, and unblock specific countries or just a specific place in a country. So as an example here, we can see the Sydney office in Australia. You can connect that way, but the entire country of China or North Korea, 100% blocked. Under authentication and recovery, you can also see the different methods that are set up for their authentication and recovery. So in this case, if you're using an Android to authenticate, you could use a fingerprint or a pattern, or with iOS, you could use a Face ID, or again, another pattern. So very quick and easy to see what things are put in place and to add or create those policies. Lastly, in multi-factor too, you can choose which specific types of policies that you want to enable for multi-factor if you're using that to protect the vault. So you can come in here and configure those basic things. But I think for the most part, most of your concerns will come in the general policy section. Like I said, you're going to see all the ones that you have enabled by default, but you can browse to them by category. Don't forget to reset this filter if you want to see things that aren't assigned. And the management of these policies, once they're put in place, can also be granularly taken care of. So as you can see in this list, we have some that apply to all users, or some to only users in these or groups that are specified. And there's also the category to put it towards all users except for specific categories or groups. So if we drill right down into a rule, you'll see that we have it split into two sections. One, the settings. So if there's specific settings that you need to put into for that one, and the other second section is your users. So who are you going to put in? Is it only all users, or is it only specific users and groups? And then you would go in and assign and search for those specific users and groups to put into play for it. In closing, we've shown you the policy section where we have over 111 policies currently. I believe we're one of, if not the most policy-heavy provider in passwords today. It's very easy to automate all this stuff, to have it go out and apply to specific groups or users based on how you've configured them. And you can customize the level of security that you want to put into place, like the geofencing or specific MFA blocks and things like that. So hopefully this is giving you enough to get started. Again, I'm James Sawyer. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.